Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I want to do a spring shop my stash inspired by florals, and that is why I'm wearing this floral cardigan here today. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. Let's go ahead and switch cameras and show you guys my collection and dig through to find the items that I want to use. Alright, I think we should start with the eyeshadow palette. Now, I have a whole stack of Tom Ford palettes here, but there's one in particular that I want. I should come up with a better system for finding these. There we go. This is what I want, African Violet. Gorgeous. While we are here, let's pick out some complexion items as well. I reorganized this a little bit, so here are my foundations. These are some setting sprays. This is a sunscreen spray, but I just keep it here anyway. I really like this Le Beige Water Fresh tint, but it's pretty light. And same goes for this Westman Atelier foundation stick. I think I will go with the Chanel Ultra Le Teint foundation. It's still pretty light, but it offers more coverage. And then up here, so this drawer is bronzers, highlighters, and also some powders. I have one powder that I use over and over again because I'm not really much of a powder girl. I don't have oily skin, so I'm not like collecting them. So this one here is my Chanel Le Beige Healthy Glow powder. I'll use this. And then for the bronzer, I'm going to go ahead and use my Givenchy one because I love it so much. It used to have more intricate detailing, but as you can see, it's been very well loved. So for the highlighter, I'm going to go into my Chanel Le Blanc Rosy Light Drops because this did come out with the Spring Summer collection. It's pink. It's making me think spring. Now, let's go for a few other items. I'm going to go for a concealer. I'm just going to go into my Clé de Peau concealer. I didn't get a new one this spring, so I'm just going to go ahead and use this. For the mascara, I'm going to go ahead and use my Chanel Volume Stretch Mascara. This did come out in the spring, so it's sticking on the theme. For a liner, I'm going to go into this Chanel Ombre Contour. This is in the shade Contour Mauve. It's just like a really nice light color. It's pretty soft and subtle. So for the blush, I'm going to go into this Chantecaille Cheek Gelée in Vibrant. Again, I did not get this with a spring collection. I just think it'll go really well with the whole look. So now we have one last category, which is lips, and these here and this here are all lip products. So let's go ahead and find something. I'm thinking maybe a Lisa Eldridge. I have Skyscraper Rose and Love of My Life. I think these will go well. It'll be just like a nice pinky look. So this entire look is inspired by this palette here. I mentioned it in a monthly favorites last week, and a lot of you guys asked me for a tutorial, and I've worn it several times on my channel, but I realized that I'd never done a look with just this palette, so I thought we could do that today. And this palette is called African Violet, which is a type of flower. So I decided to wear a floral print cardigan and just, you know, use spring as my inspiration. Although today it is extremely gloomy and rainy. They say that April showers bring May flowers, but today is definitely going to bring a lot of flowers in May. So the first thing I do is I go into the coral shade and I use it as a transition shade. I know it sounds quite out there, but trust me, it works. So just using a big fluffy brush, we're just going in, and this is quite pigmented. I mean, this Tom Ford palette is really pretty. So just go ahead and use it as a transition shade. And then you can feel free to pass whatever's left on the brush here under the bottom lashes. If ever you have too much product on your brush right here, keep a tissue by your side and just like gently press into the tissue or the back of your hand to get excess product off of your brush, and that way you won't have such an intense look. Okay, so next step is to go into the purple shade, and so using the flat side of this brush here, I'm going into it. And always leave a detailed list of the brushes that I use in today's video, but this brush here is the Chanel Blender and Shader brush. I bought this several months ago and I use it literally every single day. I think it is totally worth it, although someone told me that they are reformulating it. I think they're changing the bristles or something. You know, I don't know why Chanel does that. We have items that we love and then they decide to like revamp them and they just make it worse. I don't know. Anyway, if you can get your hands on these types of brushes here, I do think they're really worth it. That being said, like the one that I have here is like the older version, so I don't know what the new version is going to be like. Okay, so taking this purple, we're just going to pack it on the mobile lid. I love that this purple actually stays true to color. So many purples on me turn into like a weird muddy brown. And we can just gently blend this purple into that coral shade up here. And then going back into that blending side, let's just blend this out. And you can tap gently back into that coral shade just to help blend this out. Now taking a tapered brush, this is the Chanel Definer and Smudger brush. Again, it's dual-sided with two different types of pointed tips. So I'm going to go ahead and use the wider one here with the purple shade, and I'm going to go ahead and sweep it under the lashes. And taking that same tapered edge here and just kicking off whatever purple eyeshadow we had, I'm going to go into the brown shade and just really lightly put it on the outer corner here. Okay, so I think we should go ahead and do the face makeup and we'll finish up the eyes afterwards. So I do not have the new Chanel Les Beiges collection yet because, as I mentioned, the Chanel website here in Canada is not shipping orders right now, and I don't see it yet on the Holt Renfrew or Shoppers Drug Mart website. But if I remember correctly, last year here in Canada, the Les Beiges collection came out in like late April or early May, so it might be a while. I totally forgot to say, this is the Chanel Ultra Latin foundation that I used. I am in the shade B30. And then for the concealer, I'm going into my Clé de Peau concealer in the shade called Almond. I've owned this for quite a while and I really love it. It's incredibly expensive, but it's one of those items that is totally worth it. And then I'm just going to go ahead and set my face a bit with the Chanel Les Beiges Healthy Glow Powder in number 20. And then for the bronzer, I'm going into my Givenchy Healthy Glow Bronzer in number 3. It's so funny how many products exist for the complexion that are called like healthy glow. I mean, obviously that's what you want in your complexion items. It's just, it gets confusing because everything is called healthy glow something. And then for the blush, I'm going to go into my Chantecaille Cheek Gelée in the shade Vibrant. I just think it's a really pretty pink and it'll go with the whole look here. So to finish up my complexion, I'm going to go ahead and use my Chanel Le Blanc Rosy Light Drops. Now I know in the Les Beiges collection, they came out with 2 new liquid highlighters, but more in the golden family of colors. Maybe it's a good thing that I can't get this Les Beiges collection for a while because these rosy light drops are, like there's just so much to use up that it's hard to actually make a dent in this bottle. Okay, now I'm going to go into this Chanel eyeshadow and liner stick. It's in the shade called Contour Mauve. I think it'll just add like a nice amount of definition. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the waterline here on top. I wanted something a bit lighter because I feel like there's a lot going on here and I want to make sure that liner stays light. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish off the eyes with this Chanel Volume Stretch Mascara. So I think I will go with Love of My Life because Skyscraper Rose is very pretty, but it's almost too bold with this look. I think Skyscraper Rose looks the best with a really simple, basic eye look, and I think this is a bit too much for that. So let's go into Love of My Life. Okay guys, this is the finished look. I think this looks really pretty. It's very pink, it's floral, it's feminine, it's very spring. I was very inspired by African Violet and the floral motif that you see here. I think it's really cute. I did a whole makeup look and now I'm ready to wander back into my kitchen or my living room because I am staying home, as should you. C'est la vie, c'est la pandémie.
But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video anyway. I hope you got some inspiration to use up items you have at home. You may not have this exact palette, but I'm certain you have things similar to it you can use. It just occurred to me that I forgot to use the last shade in the palette, the golden topper shade. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now using my pinky finger. I'm going to gently press this on the lid right here. Ideally, you would do this before putting on your mascara. Okay, I think this topper shade adds a nice little glimmer, a little bit of definition. I think that the topper shade in this palette is probably the weakest shadow. I feel like in the Tom Ford palettes, all of the shadow toppers are not made equal. I feel like some of them are much more intense. This one here feels a bit more dry. It is still nice, but I find that some of the toppers are much more intense, and this one is okay, but the other three shadows are perfection. So this is the finished look right here. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. What do you think of the Shop My Stash where I pull into my drawers? Do you like it? Would you like to see a video of my entire collection and how I organize myself, or sort of organize myself? It's a work in progress. Let me know down in the comments. So if you guys are new to my channel today, whenever I get a new collection, I will create several different looks with the same products. So you guys at home really get a sense of how to use up all of your makeup, because I will just continue using the same items and I will mix and match with old collections and just really use up the entire product. So if that sounds interesting, please subscribe, comment, and like this video. So I think this is all I have for you guys for today. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.